All right, Ink fam, we're back live for the first time since COVID. This is episode 23, recorded on the floor at the Macabre Tattoo Arts Festival in Louisville, Kentucky, and it's pure chaos in the best possible way. I'm sitting with the one and only Adam Stoner, tattooer, filmmaker, paranormal investigator, and the man who once gave away a 16-foot Nile crocodile just because. We're talking ghost stories, colorblind tattooing, selling everything you own, and why Theo Von might be the secret blueprint to great client conversations. Strap in. This one's uncut, unfiltered, and unapologetically real.
And actually, I did spank him.
You did not.
I sure as fuck did. Or I'm sorry.
After the
Cut that out, I guess. Do you cuss on this one?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
It's not a PG show, bro.
I cut it all out of mine. It kills the algorithm.
Shout out to Dead City Coffee across the aisle over here.
Oh, are we going?
Cheers on the coffee.
Are we going?
It's recording.
Are we doing? All right.
Yeah, bro. Unscripted.
Yeah, Rocky over there. He was on my show this morning, and he is a really good mind. You know, I think you guys would get along greatly.
Yeah, I already was getting along with him. I got to go back over there and talk to him because I was telling him that one year we always do Christmas gifts for the artists. Mm-hmm. So our pro team, we always send them Christmas gifts. And there's a coffee roaster right next door to my Electrum Inc. building. So one year I was like, I should send everybody coffee. We should do an Electrum coffee. But I'd rather do it with somebody that's, this is perfect.
We just set up a deal actually this morning where I'm going to be making the coffee that doesn't taste like ass for the Adam Stoner show.
Yeah. With
my logo on it. And then now every time I sign anything, like a skateboard that we're doing this weekend or whatever, if there's an A, I just turn into Prince. Like,
see, that's
totally douchey. I just find an A and I do my little A logo signature over any A.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's what I'm going to do. Dead City, I'm going to put a spray paint A over the logo. And
You're very creative like that. You've got
man.
a good creative mind.
I stole it from Prince. I mean, it's not...
The artist formerly known as Stoner.
That's right. Well, and that's the thing, too, as you know all too well, man, is it's very confusing in our industry because so many people smoke, and I don't. I'm... Other than Friday, I'm pretty much sober.
You just happen to have the last name Stoner.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm proud as hell of my name, and I have no illusions of what my name can bring to my life. I mean, it's brought a lot, actually, but it always has that druggy Cheech and Chong thing, and that's just not my brand. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like,
you don't have that vibe anyway.
Yeah, I know. So when people meet me, they're like, and that's why I've been leaning into it, like with my A logo with the devil horns on there. I wear devil horns on my show for... Well, one for branding because I think we talked about this already, but you got a million bearded tattoo dudes doing podcasts and shows. Well, I'm the guy with the devil horns.
The only one.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know that guy. Yeah, the Stoner guy. And then I was like, Adam Stoner show. I was talking to BG and Thomas Hunt in Atlanta a few years ago, and I was like, I had the idea to do Adam Stoner show because it makes ASS.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you don't go back in time, find Doc Brown and do that, you're an idiot. And then when I rebranded the show where I could just be me solo talking, like Theo Von style, man did that marijuana, man, we call cocaine. And he just talks, and he gets personal, I'm like, I want to be able to just say my, Adam's thoughts. Here's my final thought, We spend so much time with Tinder in our hands.
Yeah.
We're not tender enough in our hearts, Rob. You know what I mean?
Well, we talked last night about, how we thought maybe Theo Von might take over Joe Rogan,
and I think he will. No, you're hitting that on the head, man, because I'm not trying to just talk about my crap the whole time, but the Adam Stoner show, right? People are like, what's your podcast about? What does Stoners talk about? Anything and everything. And this weekend has been a whiplash, man, because I've talked to you, then have Dave Sheridan on, and he's being doofy. And that whole one, I'm just like laughing, going, I've quoted you since I was 10 years old. I remember watching, Buzz on MTV. Like, you were the guy, and I was like, I want to talk about your Bam Margera connection with CKY, and people don't know that about you. Then the next one I do is Webb, the tattoo artist Webb over there, Atomic.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I was in prison beating up chomos, and it's just like whiplash. Yeah. But here's the thing, too, that I think the importance of conversation, right? Like, every single tattooer that I know that's good at giving the people the human experience that they deserve when they get tattooed, we've all been prepping and training to be podcasters. We talk to strangers one-on-one all day long about everything. And then you start kind of just meld it in. And if you get really good at double tasking and stuff, and people just start opening up, and then you have a different brain. And if you're, I don't do it anymore, but if you're like a walk-in artist who has 100 clients, I'm gifted enough to have a clientele that I do like one person a day.
Right.
And that mentally breaks me because but if I were to jump, like I've been doing podcasts this weekend, jumping brains, it's exhausting. But we've all been training to like open people up. Onions, you know what I mean? Sometimes you cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great. And Theo, circling back to that, he does that in a way that we were talking about Walking Phoenix on his episode. Yeah, every interview I ever see, I'm like, is he? We're all on the spectrum. Where is he at?
Definitely on the spectrum.
But then when you watch Theo, you're like, no one knows how to talk to him. And I was like, this is the same guy? I went back and watched a little bit after we talked.
Dude, he just throws out like the most random ass questions, bro. Like, and to the point that sometimes the guests are just like, are you really that's what you want to know?
Like the Pauly Shore one I read. It was like, hey, look up how far people can see. And Pauly's like, why are we asking this question?
I know. It's like the most random shit.
But you know what, though? Like, here's the thing that you do. And I was telling you this about 20 minutes ago or whatever. Kicking me in the ass, no pun intended, about consistency. And it's like, I found Theo from a stand-up, obviously. But from the clips and the reels, and I don't do that. I don't do any of that. It's like, well, then why are you putting effort? Why did you get a booth, drive across state lines? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? It's time. It's time to get serious about it.
Bro, your stuff looks top level, dude. Like it's good. And you're good at it, man. Like,
thanks, man.
The video stuff too, you're like super good at. Like,
thanks, man.
That's where I wish I would get better at, the video part. Because, dude, crushing it.
I enjoy it. Our voice is forever. But there's something about that I say Indian because I have a lot of Indian in me too, not to offend anyone. Native American's a federal term. I don't want to get into it.
Right.
Indians believed that they had the capturing ability from the photograph. Like the photograph steals a piece of your soul.
Right.
I'm giving you chunks, and I want to give you video chunks where there's multiple photos in a video. Right. I love that. I mean, not to make anyone throw a machine at my head. It's my favorite medium. It's my favorite art form, film. It's all I do is watch movies and TVs, and I have continuity errors I'm catching all the time. It's ruined everything for me.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm the same.
Yeah, it's hard not to see it, right?
I pull movies apart all the time. The biggest fucking thing I hate about movies, dude, is like you can tell they do scenes in multiple shoots. So I hate it when they miss a detail, like his fucking hat was backwards in the last scene. Now
that's
forward.
Continuity, absolutely, man.
Like, fuck,
dude,
that's
someone's entire job. You have millions of dollars. And you can't tell if the glass was half full. And you watch these interviews with these actors, right? And they like, I ate waffles in that scene, so that means I ate waffles for 32 hours straight. If I ever have another waffle again, I'm gonna vomit. And you're like, whoa. So I can see like how hard that would be, right? But then, continuity guy follows you to the editing floor, but the editors get through, and you start doing this thing where you're watching it. You know the story, you've seen it enough. You become blind to that crap. That's happened to me multiple times, When I made the Salt House documentary, which is my most successful film thing I've done now, I was just being genuine, and I was like, all right, I'm going to let the world know I'm a weirdo, which was very hard to do. It wasn't easy to be like, I see dead people. But I'm like, all right, well, this is the biggest chunk of my life that I've like, if you knew me and we talked about it, you knew all about it. I mean,
yeah.
But I'm publicly telling you now, like, I believe in an afterlife, and I believe that this door is closed not because of the wind, because it's followed up by this anomaly, and then this, and then I debunk things like crazy. Yesterday, we were doing this demon tattoo, my buddy John, and we heard, we're like, what is this South Parky demon? I'm like, dude, because when we weren't filming.
Through the headphones, you heard it?
Yeah, when we weren't filming, I was like, just keep the headphones on so we can keep talking. Because I could be like, hey, John, how you doing, man? You feel good? And he talks on the microphone, and I was like, fuck, I should do this at home, dude. This is great. Because I'm deaf, all the years of playing music, I'm like, huh? And then I have selective hearing. It's bad, right? But we're just sitting there, I'm just tattooing, and I hear this. Like, I'm doing a demon face on an ass. We just had a big ghost story talk, right? I'm like, John, do you hear that? He's like, what is that? I'm like, clearly, is there music? Because your headphones are far superior to the mic setup that we had, which we figured that out the other day. But I hear them talking in that booth clear across the room. So we're trying to pinpoint it, trying to debunk it, because we both go to like Waverly Hills.
You're like, it's not a demon in our headphones.
No, what it was Pete was tattooing this dude's sternum across the booth, and that sound was the whack, 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 whack. But the way it was coming through was distorting.
Wow.
And to do it as straight as, and we were doing demons, we were in that mindset. And that's the thing, not to derail us into ghost crap, but that's the thing is that people go to haunted houses or they go to Waverly Hills or, you know, asylums or whatever, and you're already wanting ghosts, and then you hear that, I did hear that, and then everyone gets, that hysteria builds up. And you gotta like slow down and be like, yo, you know what I mean? Not everything goes bump. This place is old as shit. There's a rafter up there. By the way, that was a rat. You know, no one saw. Look at the green screen. You see the glowing eyes. You're like, debunked. It's important to be a huge skeptic, and I'm a huge skeptic. But anyway, dropping that video, the reason why I brought all that up, it's been a long weekend, man. Sorry. My ADD is way off right now.
No,
all different daddies.
I love it.
Making that video, I purposely went continuity errors on purpose, because I was like, I want this whole film to feel uneasy, down to, you see the bottom, your camera you got right here, right? You got the little boom stand at the bottom.
Yeah.
So, you know, Jackie'd be up in the hallway upstairs in the salt house, and you just see the edge of the boomstick sticking out. Because that shit drives me crazy. Like, oh, dude, you see the camera? Did you see that boom mic just touch right in the middle of the porno? You see that little boop, boop, right? And I'm like, oh, now I can't even watch. The mood's over. But I was like, I'm purposely going to be messing this up. Shortcomings is, what I should be focusing on is audio, because that is the hardest thing. And that is, when I did the Hell City documentary, Derb talks like, hey, you know, he's been on this show, right?
Yeah,
You've had Derby,
yeah.
So with this, I'm sure it was easy and good to go. But when I had my mic set up, he's like, Hell City is the thing that we always do. And then we do that. So the entire time I kept chasing Derb. Well, Derb's 90% of the talking in that. And then Paul Booth was like monotone. I was like, perfect. Because he kept the same, it was like ambient, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, yes. And then Golden Yeti comes on there, and he's screeching like a hawk and like talking about Phoenix, you know? And I'm like, oh, he blew out the speakers.
Don't you have voice levelers on Final Cut?
Yes, but that's where the education falls. That's my biggest thing now too. But that's, I guess what I'm getting at is that I feel like, even though my consistency in my production or whatever has not been there, it's because, well, one, I've had life keep, every year it seems like I've had like a life smack just take me all the way back.
Right.
And
resets.
and you know me in my personal life, like I closed down my $2 million shop, and I'm selling my $1.6 million home right now, and I'm like, I want to go live in the middle of nowhere with 1,000 square foot, maybe get a dog and a black goat.
Simplify.
And because I know what's important now, and I'm looking around my room going, these skateboards on the wall that, you know, I've got, these are important. This couch, it's not important. So I've now been able to pluck the jewels. You know, it's like the pearl in the middle of the clam, right?
Yeah.
Clam's great. I only want the pearl. And now I'm starting to see that in my life. I'm like, I want to destroy Rome to build back a stronger one.
Yeah.
You know? But audio is my next thing, because I do care about film so much. And I got that from, I believe Steve-O, I'm sure, said it at some point. But this moment we're having right now is never going to happen again. You know what I mean? The last time I did someone else's podcast at a convention was Fireside. And that was at Tattoo the Lou, I think 20, there was a one in
it's been a minute.
21 something, I think 19 or something like that. And like, you guys are all jerks to me, because like today, voice was gone. You know, I didn't drink last night, so that was good. But that one I did. And my buddy Nate from Rev 23.
Yeah.
He
Nate
was
laughs.
like, yeah, he's my best friend. He was like, hey, Jake, you should have Adam on. And I was like, well, what are we going to talk about, bro? And he was like, oh, dude, we'll just sit down. We'll just have a conversation. It'll be good. I'm like, oh, sweet. We sit down. He's like, so what advice would you like to give young tattooers in the black and gray world? And I'm like, dude, I am hungover. Voice was gone. Fought with my ex-wife the whole night. I'm like, oh. Tried not to get shot. We're in St. Louis.
You're like, don't get married.
Well, at that time, I wasn't married yet, you know?
Oh.
But I mean, we were together for 20, you know, yeah, I love Jackie to death.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I was like, dude, this isn't everything and anything. So when you asked me, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that it actually will be. So you definitely lead me here because I'll just keep rambling, bro.
No, I wanted to touch on two things that you said. Number one, I was telling you got to get on that AI editing stuff because, dude, it's going to level the voices for you automatically. It's going to produce the clips for you.
Arrogance is an evil demon, is it not?
I mean, it's going to save you 2 hours in your editing time.
This weekend, you may be, I mean, like when we were talking, I think Friday or whatever, I will fight tooth and nail. I mean, no, because I want to touch every part. It's like the screwdriver, man. Use this drill. I got it. It's like unless you're working on a car, grab a drill. It's time. I know.
It takes all those awkward pauses. You know, those.
I don't have those.
Yeah, those. What was that thing called? Edit it out. Boop. Seconds. You know what I mean? It's gone.
Yeah, dude. That would save me. And then, well, now I'm backed up. I've done like 10 episodes.
Yeah, dude, you're going to be busy for days.
Yeah, your episode's like an hour. I'm like, let's keep these around 20 minutes. I think every episode's been an hour or so. I'm like, no.
See, I don't even time mine. I do have a big clock on the wall because I try to stay cognizant of the time when I'm doing mine because I usually try to keep them right around 2 hours. That's my target time. Mm-hmm. Dude, I did one.
I got to talk to you for 2 hours?
Bro, no, I'm not.
Oh, thank God, because I can't do that.
No, not here.
You want me to pretend to like this guy for 2 hours? You need to jump on. You want my headphones?
No, we're going to keep these shorter.
No. We can talk forever. I don't care.
But my weekly podcast, and we usually have a topic on those anyway, so it's interesting because 2 hours just kind of flies by on those podcasts. Did one a few weeks ago, and it went for 3 hours. Mm-hmm. You know, we just got deep into regulatory talks, and it just kept going. So,
well, that stimulating conversation, that's what, when I first started out, the idea I had for my show originally was, I'm going to do a tattoo while talking to my clients. And I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to Kat Von D it, you know, with respect. The show is what I mean. Where it's like, I'm getting this tattoo because blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, oh, and you see like, oh, go get a coffee. I didn't want to do the TV form of when we were starting out, right?
Yeah, right.
And I was like, I want to do podcast segments because you talk about everything with the clients we mentioned earlier. And I was like, I want to film it. And then at the end of it, I reveal what I did all day. You don't talk about it. I'm like, man, because then it's like Hot Ones. Sean's like, so Rob, back in 1982, you blah, 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 right? And you're like, oh, let me get a glass of milk. And it's entertaining, right? So if I'm tattooing your ass, like my buddy John, I'm like, so what do you think demons are, right? When I know I'm going to go into a spot. He's like, oh, fuck, hold on. I'm like, oh, editing gold. I'm going to zoom in on his face. I'm going to add an effect, like, oh, maybe make his face go red, you know? But he set too well. But that was the premise of the show. I was like, man, this is going to be great. Well, I used to do, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I did a reality show. The Rue Morgue was a thing.
It was self-produced?
Yeah. Yeah, the Rue Morgue.
I feel like I remember it.
Yeah, it was Rue Crew Inc. is what I called it, because LA Inc., New York Inc.
Yeah.
I was like, Rue Crew Inc., because Rue Crew was, you know, what I called the dudes, the people that worked there. Obviously, it wasn't just guys, I had more women, I think. Anyway, I was doing it all. And then I got some buddies I tattooed that were on a show on HGTV, and they said, hey, do you want to be on HGTV and come do this episode? And I was like, well, what do you want? They're like, a name on the ribs. I'm like, nope. I'll tattoo a portrait on you on TV, but I'm not going to do a name and sweat and fat guy status. So one of my best friends, Shelby Ray, I was like, yo, you want to be on HGTV? And I was like, I'm going to be behind the scenes watching how a real crew, like this is a legit
production crew.
Yeah, and it was like they brought in like boxes of chips and all this stuff, and I'm like, wow. I mean, I just know these guys. I've tattooed them before. You know, they're good people. I'm gonna leave their names out just in case they don't want to be mentioned or whatever. But anyway, it's not hard to find. Rue Morgue Tattoo Gallery on HGTV, it'll pop up. But I was like, you know, I'm gonna watch them how they do it, and I'm talking to the producer the whole time, like, hey, pluck your brain, dude. You know?
Yeah.
His name was Adam too, and I'm like, hell yeah, kindred. I like that.
Don't you think that's the best way to learn how to do things? I was just talking
what not to do as well, I guess.
Well, so that's funny because I was just talking to Boney Tony last night, who I'm going to get on the podcast today too. But
awesome.
We were talking after the Beastie Boys concert last night, and we were talking about how, like, when we learned how to tattoo, you know, like it's an expensive way to do it, but you go get tattooed by the people that you look up to, and you pay to get tattooed by them, and while they're tattooing, you're watching how they're tattooing, you're asking them why you're doing that way, getting just that education like that. It's an expensive way to learn, but to me it's the best way to learn.
See, I didn't do that. I should have done that. I was too busy actually tattooing Boney.
Yeah.
You know, I actually met Boney. I'm going to blow him out of the water here because Anthony's story is amazing for me.
Yeah.
I actually met Boney because I was a bail agent before I was a tattoo artist. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No.
Yeah, I used to bail people out of jail.
That's funny.
And arrest people at nighttime and stuff like that. And that's actually how I got into the industry. It was through Joshua Carlton.
Really?
Yeah, because I have a band, Black Dolly. I'm actually, pathetically enough, wearing a Black Dolly shirt right now.
Yeah.
But I was number 16 in the world unsigned music artist and had millions of plays on MySpace with like just a plethora of people, right? Back when MySpace was like no algorithm fought you could just organically grow.
Yeah.
And Josh hit me up on there and was like, "How do you do this?" So I actually helped his band, Chiaroscuro, at the time, and that's how I
got linked up.
Yeah, and then ended up apprenticing underneath Jamie and Picarino, like Boney did.
Mm-hmm.
But I met Boney because I bailed him out of jail, and then so he was actually my third tattoo ever.
Really?
Yep.
What'd you tattoo on him? I'm gonna ask him to see it later.
Yeah, well, it's been redone. So what you're gonna see today, or on that episode rather, is a way better version than what I did.
You fixed it up years later?
I didn't know. No, I've tattooed his arm a couple times. You know what I mean? But he's done this little J. Is all I've got. I eventually will have to get one of his flowers. I mean, he's unmatched right now with those guys. But anyway, no, it's Lamb of God birds down, and now it's been blasted with color by far more talented people than I am. But yeah, no, that's I learned just by really amazing people who let me practice on them and looked at my like paintings and stuff. You could do good artwork, and then. But see, I thought when we started out, you had to do cartoons.
Right.
I thought, and I was an animator too, so that was easy for me to like switch it. But I was like, man, you have to draw cartoony and lines and bold color, and that's what you have to do. And then I started, ironically, being the fact that I met Joshua before the rest of them, because that's not at all what he did. But it didn't click to me until actually I saw Nick Baxter's. Do you remember the chairs he did back in the day?
No.
He did, like, he got famous for doing like little chairs.
Nick did.
Yeah, little Nick Baxter chairs. I'm sure you could find them online somewhere. This is like 15, 16 years ago now. But those little chairs were just, I was like, whoa, okay, all right. And then I moved out of that. So the first couple of years I did color, and I'm colorblind. Well, I'm blue-green colorblind, so I don't see.
Really?
So yeah, like your glasses to me are not as cool as they are to you, although they're cool. But you know what I mean?
What do they look like?
Well, they look green, dude.
I don't know how it is to be colorblind. If you say you're green and blue colorblind, what does that mean?
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me get into.
Do you see red light, green light, yellow light? Is that?
Yeah, all right. This is how I try to describe it, because people are like, get those glasses. They're the ones that you see.
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law is like, dude, I'm going to put them on you when you sleep, wake up. I'm like, I will kill you. I don't want the world to be skewed from what I've seen. Like, imagine Tim Burton's brain being changed now. He'd be like, oh, and we wouldn't get,
You wouldn't get them.
All right, this is green, right? I'm not stupid. That's not, I don't mean that like a jerky way.
Yeah.
But people are like, what color is this? I'm like, green. But when I'm tattooing, I have to read. I read a lot. And sometimes, like, a lot of the concentrate colors, I'll be like, hey, I'll ask my client, like, but I mean, I'm 99% black and gray. This isn't normally a problem.
Right.
But every once in a while, they're like, can you do blue lightning? Well, blue concentrate and purple concentrate, are like the same freaking thing for normal seeing people. So this is how I look at it. How do you know, or you guys at home, right? How do you know that this green is the same green you see and the same green I see? You spend your entire life knowing that this is green, but to you, it's always looked pink. But you know that that's green, so your green is just pink.
Yeah.
That's how I believe being colorblind is. I know it's green, but I don't get the vivid green.
Is it like muted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like desaturated from what I was told. I mean, here's the thing is that you're telling me I have...
Well, you wouldn't know how to describe it if you haven't seen the actual...
Exactly. It's like
you don't know what to
describing...
compare it to.
Yeah.
Right.
Saying you're colorblind is like putting a blanket on an undescribable shape and then being like, it's this, but you're describing the blanket shape, not what it actually is.
But you can actually see the color.
A form of...
Being blue and green colorblind doesn't mean that you don't actually see those tones.
I see a muted, or from what I've been told. This is what I've been told. Because like I said, I don't know. I just know green's green.
Right.
And it's cool against black, and that's about it.
But when you look at grass, it looks green.
No, so sometimes in the summertime, here's a good example, I guess. I'm trying to articulate this without trying to be confusing or misleading with this, because people always make a big deal out of it. I shouldn't even have said anything. But it's summertime. Sometimes the sky and the trees are the same.
Okay.
Depending on the hue of the sky.
Okay.
I can't tell the difference between the two.
You can't see the separation.
But I fucking love fall. So people are talking all the time like, oh, we both been all over the U.S.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about how I used to live in Oregon earlier and Washington and all that.
Yeah.
Talk about evergreen and all that. Dude, I love Indiana. We get shorter falls every year, but I love Indiana because the falls here, dude,
are amazing.
Oh my God.
Michigan too.
Oh yeah, no, this whole
Midwest.
chunk, yes. And it's like that's the best way is that I'm really a big Halloween fall guy, which if you know me, that definitely starts to click some dots together 100%. For people. They're like, oh yeah, and like that's why like the orange pumpkin against the backdrop. It's like everybody waits all year to get the orange pumpkin against the dull backdrop. I get that all year. That's kind of my vision all year. And even my paintings or my podcasts, I always do red because red's my favorite color. I believe it's the most vivid color. I'm shaped like a bull. I got a bully ass, you know what I mean? I say a lot of bullshit.
I like that though. I like understanding that because you hear, and we'll get off the subject after that, but like colorblind, you just assume. When you hear the word blind, you just think can't see, right?
I think it's different.
So when you hear people say, oh, I'm blue and green colorblind, you just automatically make the assumption, well, you mean you can't see green and blue?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you explained that because it really helped me kind of understand.
So did I do it well?
Yeah, because I just didn't really know what colorblind meant.
Well, and that's so red-green is the most prominent. And here's the thing, too. There's a big, I mean, yes, there are females out there that are colorblind. Absolutely. I don't work with absolutes. Talk to me in a year. I might have a different, other than facts, a different opinion about a lot of things we talk about today. But men are plagued with colorblindness. Joshua Carlton was colorblind.
Really?
And he brought us color realism.
Yeah.
You know? Chad Rao over there, he's colorblind.
Really?
Yep.
That's crazy. I wonder if there's a statistic out there that says how many tattoo artists are colorblind. That'd be an interesting one to know.
Well, and you wonder, too, it's kind of like, man, I'm getting real dumb here. But it's fun. Whatever. We're having fun, right? We're drinking Dead City coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I noticed Robbie Ripple's things on here, the Rad Movement.
We talked about that earlier on his, which is great.
Yeah.
So, you know that Daredevil. Let's go Daredevil, right? Mm-hmm. You know who that is? Mm-hmm. Daredevil? Not Affleck, but the
comic book.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's blind. He has vision problems, right? So now he has like super hearing, so he can actually almost see, you know, that I kind of almost wonder with our artistic mind, like, if you start talking to enough tattooers and enough, there's similarity. Like, we're all on the same level of spectrum, right? Most of us, if not all of us on here, are definitely like somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, we all have a different daddy or whatever, you know what I mean? Somewhere, ADD. But like, that would be interesting to find out, because I do know, like, for instance, obviously Joshua was beautifully realism.
Yeah.
Chad does realism. I do realism. So I wonder how many of those people would be realism artists. You know what I mean? In that study.
Yeah.
Like, how many colorblind artists do traditional full color tattoos?
Now I want to find out. That's a good...
Start doing a poll, man.
That's a good one.
You're the guy anyway, man. If you guys... Obviously, we're on your show. I was going to talk like we're on mine. So if you guys don't follow his shit...
Make sure you follow his podcast.
I love your page. I'm like when it pops up in my algorithm, the joke of online is that I'm online right now. Ask anybody. Yeah. I'm on there right now. Clients are mad at me right now for not responding right now.
We know you're on here right now, bro.
Yes, exactly.
You totally saw me messaging.
Right. And that's the game, right? Is to pretend that I'm online.
Yeah.
So you think I'm always that close to you, right? Like, it's all a game. I hate social media. That's why I only do YouTube for my thing. You're everywhere. You're way more professional than I am. But I'm like, no, funnel it in like 300.
Dude, I don't want to be everywhere.
Well, you are, though.
But you have to be.
Yeah.
Consistency, right?
Yep.
You have to be. You have to be trying to hit all those. If you're trying to grow your channel and get more people's eyes on your stuff, then you got to be everywhere.
And that's where talking to you, like, I'm like, all right, you're like that guy in the gym that's like, dude, are you actually working out to change yourself to become better? Or are you just saying pretty shit to make yourself feel better?
Right.
And it's like, oh yeah, I work out. Well, then why do you still look like shit? Right. And like, for me, I'm like, I do.
You're trying to validate your laziness.
Yes. And is that not just the online model? validation.
Yeah.
Is that not the problem? And I'm going to go totally sidestep it on that. But is that not the almost entire problem with relationship statuses?
Yeah.
Within friendships, doesn't have to be sexual relationships.
You have to put work into everything.
But there's a validation that we can't quite. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you could post a tattoo that you absolutely adore, because I do this often. You know, I'm like, I love this tattoo. I had the most fun doing it ever. I post online, 20 likes. 15,000 people follow me, 20 likes in the algorithm. I didn't pay for my followers, but it sure looks like it. What is happening right now?
Right. Why
do I
nobody's
suck?
seeing my shit?
But even then, I'm like, so no one liked this tattoo. And in society, that's what we do. We just start bending and bending and bending. Like, oh, no one likes when I wear this shirt, so I'm not going to wear this shirt anymore. And I'm never going to wear that again. You kind of get rid of it, and you like this shirt. And if people are like, I like your shirt, like, I'm going to buy more of these shirts. And that's why we have so many norms in society, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But there's that validation everywhere that's just awful.
Yep.
Forget where I was going with that. Whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Validation, man.
The consistency thing, that's what we were talking about.
Yes. So you've been the man in the gym now to me. Like, I'm like, all right, you got to be in everywhere. That's what we were talking about too.
But you know the funny thing, Adam, is you don't realize you've been that guy to me too. Like when I look at your totally, dude, your video production's like when I watched your Cribs episode, I was like, dude, this fucking guy is like blowing shit out of the water with this video stuff, bro.
My son filmed that with my cell phone.
Dude, it's so good, bro. And I'm just like, you need to do more video stuff, dude.
Dude, that's why this is the first tattoo convention that I've, like I say that because I only did one tattoo here, but this is the first tattoo convention that I've worked since Hell City 20-something, 22, 21, something like that. Because I'm like, I want to be here filming, and that's the immortal thing we're talking about. If I can come by your booth and capture you in this moment, then I have you in 2022 in this moment forever. You're immortal in that moment. One day when you're an old man, you can look back and be like, what was Hell City like when I was wearing a devil outfit walking around? I'm like, Rob, look at this part in this video. There you are, dude, you know? And that's kind of become like the thing for me, man. I've really just enjoyed that film. So that means a lot that you've appreciated that.
Yeah, I do. It's inspirational to me because video is kind of where I slack a little bit, you know what I mean? To me, that takes a lot more time, even though I'm using AI to do a lot of my stuff. Mm-hmm. But when you have a 2-hour-long episode, you got to go through a lot more shit. You got to clean up a lot more shit. You got to make your people will call you afterwards and they'll be like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have said that. And
I don't do that.
And I don't write down notes to say where in parts and things that they said stuff, so I got to scrub through the whole fucking video.
You got to start telling people no.
No, it's staying in.
Yeah, no, because here's the thing, man, is that when you're... Did I forget that I have a Britney Spears microphone on my face? Mm-hmm. I feel like a Backstreet Boy, like bye right now, dude.
Yeah.
Did I forget that there's a camera right here? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up? No, we just wanted to awkwardly look at you because you guys were... Yeah. No, like, did I forget what I was saying? Like, oh, dude, you know what? I said something about being bye Backstreet Boys. It's really going to tarnish my dad rock energy. Can you, like, take away the pop in it? Like, dude, no, you're on... And I've had a couple soldiers and like first responders be like, hey man, I think this isn't declassified yet or whatever. I'm like, all right, okay. If you're going to get in trouble like on a military world, I'll pull it down.
I'll pull it out.
But if you're just like talking, no, dude.
If you're like, oh, I might have hurt somebody's feelings. Tough shit.
When are we not?
There.
What is acceptable at this very moment? Can you say the R word right now? Do you think?
Rob? Fuck, I said it, dude. Oh, I gotta cut that out.
Where's Grant?
I gotta cut that out.
You don't dare. In fact, I want you to send me that clip. That's the other thing I get too from my people. They're like, can you send me clips? I'm like, bro, I don't even post clips. Did you not hear what I said to Rob? What are you, Rob? You didn't get it? Anyway, dude, that's happening. You just changed my whole vocabulary.
But dude, I wanted to ask you one question because you just mentioned that you sold your house.
Yep.
And I know you have a massive, like, seriously cool art collection, right?
Yeah, but you want some of it?
That's what I mean. You've been selling a lot of your shit. Now you said, I'm looking at the skateboards. I'm looking at the couch. Skateboards, important. Couch, fuck the couch.
Yep.
Get it.
Fuck your couch.
But all your art's cool too, dude. And like, it's special shit. Everything's got sentimental value to you. So it's like, how do you make the decision, like, to get rid of your art and like, just downsize? And do you think you'll regret that later? Because I feel like I've gotten rid of stuff in my life and I'm like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have got rid of that.
Well, that's because what you own ends up owning you. And if you have regret about things, they still own you. I've had so many things in my life that are just insane. For instance, you know, my great friend Dante.
Yeah.
Right? I was selling a 16-foot Nile crocodile from Egypt. It is the biggest one in the U.S. It was the biggest one on display for years while I was at my shop. The Smithsonian doesn't even have a Nile crocodile. This thing was a dinosaur. If you would see this thing in the wild, you just instantly die kind of vibe. Like, heart give out. He would just swallow you. You know what I mean? I was selling it online. It got value. My CPA is like, it's $40,000. I'm like, yeah, but something's only worth what you can sell it for. People are like, I'll give you $500, and I was insulted. I had some guy offer like a couple $1,000s for it. Insulted. I gave it away.
You just gave it away?
Yeah, because you know what? You're not going to respect it enough to pay $2,000 for this crocodile. This is the only one in the U.S. on display, especially this size. This thing it belongs in the Smithsonian, right? Dante will appreciate it if I give it to him. So when it comes to my personal paintings, I never sell them. I give them away. But my kids and my paintings are very similar until I made that switch where I'm like, if I go into, I'm not going to disclose where I'm going or what I'm trying to do with my life, because my life has been very public. Obviously, I give you a tour of my house online.
Yeah.
When I relocate,
private,
a ghost. I'm gonna be one of those things I claim to see, right? A spirit. There's no room. There's no room. One of my paintings I have is a Dusty Neal painting. I actually bought it from Joshua. When Joshua I took over the Great American in Shelbyville a year and a half into my apprenticeship with Jamie Carlton, Carino. And we took it over, and I was in the shop, and Josh was like, how much money do you have in your pocket? I was like, I don't know, like $800. I pulled out, and he goes, cool, sold. You get all these paintings. Nick Baxter painting, Dusty Neal, Jacopo Bianco, like framed, matted Nosferatu painting. And I was like, what? And I just immediately inherited all these things, right? Well, after you meet, like Matthew and AJ Fields and all them, you're like, I have your painting. They were upset. See, to them, they don't care about the value of their painting. I'm speaking for you. Sorry if I'm speaking for you. You don't like that. It's years ago now. And nothing against Joshua when I say this either, with all respect. But they were dead set. Like Matthew on his website says, in the collection of Joshua and Nicole Carlton.
That's what meant something to them.
Yes.
Who had the piece? Who
had it, because I know that Dante loves that crocodile because I gave it to him, right? And then who's this little apprentice douchebag stoner guy? Nobody even knew me at the time. And I'm like, I'm so honored to own your painting, sir. I was like, it's really beautiful. Nick Baxter, what do you mean by this painting? This painting is an alien with an American flag noose with a barbed wire chain around the front of it. It's my Nick Baxter painting. I'll send you a picture of it.
Yeah.
Nick, what does this mean? He goes, what do you think it means? I'm like, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. He goes, I'm like, so to this day I look at it going, I don't want to make any judgments. I don't want anyone else to make judgments. I've had clients go, what does that mean? I'm like, I don't know, but my kids are Mexican. I think we're fine. I don't know. But it's just art, right? So it's interpretation, and that's, I think, was his shock value with that, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, to answer your question is that I had it once. And you know what? I found the value of filming it, having it, and having the film.
Yeah.
I had a 1967 Cadillac purple hearse with green LEDs. You ever see that thing?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, dude, it was your car. I borrowed your car for a while. It was totally electric.
Yeah.
Then I was going to do T-shirts out of it. Like when we show up to conventions, take it to a convention, open the doors all up, slide a coffin out. There's my merch. The whole wagon.
Super cool.
Sold it to get my house I'm selling. I needed a quick $13K.
Yeah.
So I just sold it. I bought it for $8,000 or $9,000, I think, flat, just outright. And then I sold it for $13,000. I'm like, so I got paid a few $1,000s to pick up my kids from school and look like I'm in the Addams Family. And it had an ice cream, just a little side story. It had a little, like a siren on it. You could make it like ribbit at people and stuff. But there was an ice cream thing, like a little button to play the music for the ice cream trucks. And we would go to the park. My daughter was super young at the time. Of course, this thing doesn't have seatbelts, you know what I mean? So I'm like, we drove it very carefully. But honestly, if you ran into that thing, you're hurting yourself. That thing would have been fine. It was a tank. But we would go to the park, and my daughter Nora would just push the button, and you'd see all these kids running, and then they'd stop. And and they'd freak out and run the other way because it was this creepy purple hearse coming through. I'm not surprised doing a cop's called up, but she would just laugh. It was her favorite thing to do. That means a lot more to me than that car.
Yeah.
And when I die, that memory goes with me.
Yeah.
Until I just immortalized it right here on your show.
The memories are priceless.
So now this show has just made that memory immortal, and that's more important than that car.
Yeah.
So to answer your question is that I would rather you have them to respect them, because after, all right, musician, right? The music world, right? Obviously, you're very keen to that world as well. The song that's playing on the radio I can barely hear right now. It sounds like something. What is this song?
I can
It's
barely
Puddle
hear.
of Mud.
Oh, you're right. It
It's
is.
Puddle of Mud. I got a side story about Puddle of Mud if you want me to talk about it later. Yeah, it's Blurry from
I
Puddle of Mud.
almost bought an autographed Puddle of Mud guitar one time.
You know what? I'll give you the guitar that Wes broke on stage. One time I was playing with him, and I just bought this brand new Gibson Explorer for my side guitar. I got a 120th anniversary that I play normal, and I was like, I traded in like a couple badass guitars for this other guitar. Wes comes off stage high as fuck, knocks over my guitar, breaks the headstock on it, just goes, "Sorry, man," picks it up, and I just looked at it going,
Sorry, dude.
and it's like, dude, the lead singer of Puddle of Mud just broke this guitar. Like, it's the lead singer. I'm like, I don't give a crap what band he's in. He just broke this thing. It's another side story with him. One time he was performing, and his drugs fell out. His baggie fell out on stage. So I'm on the side stage going, "Wes, hey." He's like, "What?" And he's like, I'm like, "Your drugs on the stage." So he just takes his foot and grinds him into it. He just keeps on playing, man. I felt really bad after a while. His band's all hired guns at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they're the same guys. I'm sure they got let go at this point, or they probably quit. But I was like, why are you guys letting this guy kill himself? Like, he's not dying young like Kurt Cobain. He's not going to be the 27 Club. This is sad. This is really.
Right.
Played with him like 3 times, and every time I saw him, he got less him.
Really?
Less Wes, yeah. And I was like, why is this happening? And they're like,
We're
he'll
having
fire
an
us.
intervention.
Oh, he'll fire us. He won't listen to us. We'll be gone. So we can at least try this way. You know, whether I agree or not, that was their path. But music, when you have a song that you're listening to, this Puddle of Mud song, right? To me, you probably heard wherever you were when you heard this crappy song play, right? Mm-hmm. I go right to, I think this was the song he was playing when he smashed his drugs into the ground.
Really?
Yeah. The song about his kids and how he's being sober and he's trying to, I'm so far away from my kids. As you're smashing your drug baggie into the ground, right?
Yeah,
that song takes you.
That's crazy.
But now you know what I'm going to think about? That one time I was on that podcast with my boy,
Rob.
and I was talking to, I'm not saying the R word.
Oh, shit. I said it twice. God damn.
So, do you think I forgot your name, jackass?
I got to fix that.
But I'm sitting here talking to you, and now I remember you telling that story, so I became part of that.
Rob the R word. Give me a break.
But you know, but you know what that painting can't do?
What?
I can't create more strokes.
No.
After a while, you see every painting stroke on that painting. And I think I've had these things for 13 years. And then the ones I did, I know what I was thinking when I did them. So those need to be gifted. Like Chris Taylor, I did a monkey painting one night on one of my art nights out of my shop. And we have an agreement. He's going to buy that. I was like, yeah, $700. He goes, worth every penny. I said, absolutely worth every penny. I'm not letting him pay me a dime. So when we go to make the transaction, I'm like, here you go. I'm just going to give it to him.
Yeah.
Because then he'll be like, thanks. Well, hopefully maybe I'm manipulating you slightly. Appreciate it a little bit more. It was a gift, you know? Because in the end of the day, I wasn't just throwing these paintings from Joshua when I took over that shop.
Right.
He was, 1, didn't have room, didn't want to move them, I'm sure. 3, he goes, I know you're going to love them. He goes, I know that you're going to appreciate them. You're not going to trash them. You have respect for these people. I know you do.
Yeah.
I'm okay letting you take up the mantle of being their owner for a while and seeing their brushstrokes for a while. And that's it, man. It's just stuff.
No, I get it, because that's how I was like with the autographed guitar, right? I mean, I can see shit like that, and I can be like in love in the moment, but I don't want to buy it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I wouldn't appreciate it as much if I owned it. It's better to go to like artwork.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to the museum and look at artwork that famous people have done than have a Picasso hanging on my... If it's on my wall at home, I'm just going to walk past it every day, and it's going to be a point where I'm not even paying attention to it anymore because it just blends into the background with everything else.
That's not even probably. That's exactly how the Rue was.
You know?
Every day I'd walk in the Rue, and I'd see little kids come in and their eyes. That's why I built the Rue Zoo to begin with, right? Was to create that ultimate experience for people. But kids would come by and see a dinosaur. Hey, do you want to sit on the zebra? And I'd take little kids and have their moms put on zebra, take photos. Man, hopefully they thought about that. Maybe it unlocked something. You go to the zoo, you can't touch them, right?
Right.
After a while, I just went to work. I'd show up, I'd go in my booth, be like, what are we watching today? Waiting again? Little Ryan Reynolds being creepy? Let's do it. And I would do my artwork, and my collection at that point was the stories and the memories that most of them, they come and go. And then you don't even remember again.
Right.
Then you see your clients in the store, and they're like, Adam, what's up? And I'm like, hey, you? And I look at their arm, I'm like, oh, dude, how's your aunt? They're like, oh. But I would look at your arm the whole time. I didn't look at your face.
Right.
So that happens a lot too. But I started trying to hold on to that more. And then totally just blowing this whole thing I'm saying out of the water. My current private studio, the Salt House, is to the brim with dead people shit. Like everything in there was someone else's new thing where they have now died, and I've collected their dead people shit. There's a dead body in every single room of that shop. And I mean by like a full skeleton, or I've got like a 1,000-year-old human skull from the catacombs that I named Ambrose, or my uncle's ashes are in there, or like there's some piece, not like an actual dead body, but you know what I mean?
Right.
There's
parts
someone,
of a person.
yeah. In my booth, I've got these wreaths on the wall, and it's so funny because I just kind of tease the tour. My booth is the weakest one in the tour because it's my booth, and there's these wreaths on the wall, and they're like, you're like, huh, that's cool. And they look at their tattoo in the mirror and stuff, and like, you got a lot of weird shit on the wall, and like the ceiling in the other room, like my guest spot room, I'm having Ouija boards given to me, right? And they're all on the ceiling. They're spiraling.
That's dope.
And pretty soon that entire ceiling is going to be nothing but Ouija boards. I've got a Ouija board tattooed across my stomach, you know? I wish I would have thought about that. Side note, got a planchette tattooed on my hand. So every time I'm like, where do you want to eat? You know? Or like Signal will be like, hey Rob, oh crap, I said it, sorry. Like, hey, like, you know, like we can have like a code, like, hey, when you're ready to go, or you'd be like, do you want some of this? I'll be like, no. Or yeah, you know. But anyway, too late. Hindsight's 20/20. I had Aaron Peters. Great. You ruined that for me, dude. So he did a stupid tiger on my hand that I asked for. But they're like, you know, like what is some of this stuff? It's almost like they're there all day, and they're like, huh, what are these things? I'm like, oh, these guys? This is 1800s human hair. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah. See this picture? This woman had died. And they took her hair and then made it into a wreath. Have you seen these?
Yeah.
The Victorian hair wreaths?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't know what they are, they just look like wreaths in little shadow boxes. And I'm like, yes, but this one is actually really cool because there's one that's like separated by itself, right? And I've got Grandma Pat. My Grandma Pat is the new Rue Morgue monkey. Because I'm still the Rue Morgue.
Yeah.
People think it died. It didn't die. It died, but its
evolved.
Ghost now haunts the Salt House.
It's evolved.
Yeah. It's now in a spiritual realm for me, quite literally, because I'm like, oh, it's haunted, you know.
Yeah.
Pete's over there shaking his head going, this shit doesn't exist, dude. Skeptic. But anyway, my Grandma Pat is the spokes mascot. So when I book somebody, there's on my YouTube page, there's Salt House rules. If you guys want to know what I'm talking about, my Grandma Pat is on there going, Rule 1, smoking. Have you seen this? Oh, dude, when I filmed it, I was like, gold. But my grandma is so precious to me in so many ways. Obviously, it's grandmas. I hope everyone feels that way about their grandma. But my grandma's like terrible. She's just a beautifully amazing, terrible person in so many great, beautiful ways. And I mean that with all respect. She'll be like, oh, Tiny Tim, well, he's an F word. And I'm like, you can't say that. That's the N word of the gay world. And she goes, the N word? I'm like, Grandma, I know you're old, but you know what you're doing is jacked up. And, you know, my son and I are on the floor like, you're just the epitome of like that racist old lady, but you're not racist. She's not racist at all. But you know what? They say terrible shit.
Yeah.
That's my Grandma Pat. Drinking beer, smoking cigarettes.
Well, hey, I want to check out.
Sorry.
Tell people where to check out your documentary because I want people to see that, and tell people where to check out your podcast.
Yeah. So the documentary is everything's on my YouTube channel. Just Adam Stoner on YouTube. I put all the Adam Stoner Show, the old podcast episodes. I believe Rue Crew Inc., the TV show I started getting sidetracked on that I made earlier, is on there. All my podcasts, the Hell City documentary, the Indie Tattoo Expo films, and the Salt House is the name of the film that's currently right now the documentary about the shop. And then since making the Salt House film, if you do enjoy it, I'm actually working on Salt House 2. And the title is, up in the air. I don't like that title, but basically what happened is that after that film came out, investigators came from all over the world, and they've told me I was wrong on several things and backed it up with evidence where we were lied to. And people have, so little spoiler alert, middle of the film it says no one died in this house that we know of. Now I actually know that we've had several deaths, and then actually a murder started in the house and ended up in the old Rue location. So the next film is going to be quite
dark.
Yeah, the first film's quite dark.
Darker.
But it's a documentary, so it's people talking. with evidence. If there's no reenactments or anything like that. Anyway, long story made super long. Adam Stoner on YouTube. My music. You guys like dad rock crap? Dad rocky stuff's on there. Podcast. Everything's on the one channel. Multiple pillars on one beam, man.
Instagram.
Adam_Stoner. I'm very
easy to find.
Yeah, and the Salt House is their own Instagram, and the Adam Stoner Show is another one too. But Adam_Stoner is that's it. Yeah.
Well, I had fun talking to you today,
dude. Yeah, sorry
thanks
for
having me on your podcast.
Yeah,
too.
dude. Yeah. Yeah,
it was good.
I've had too much of this Dead City coffee.
This has been a long time in the making. We haven't actually.
Yeah.
We're always in the room together, but we've never sat down and talked. We did it twice this weekend. So
yeah, dude.
Cool.
Hell yeah, man. And we talked about a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Both times.
Well, that's what makes them good.
I like it.
Yeah.
If you ever want to do a long form one about anything in particular, give me one of those layout script things. And you know what I'm talking about, where you have your little guidelines.
Well, when you got 2 hours to spend with me, we'll do that.
Absolutely, man.
All right, brother.
I'm here. Thanks, man.
That's a wrap for this episode of The Business of Tattooing. I appreciate you tuning in and being part of this journey to level up the industry one conversation at a time. If you found value in today's episode, do me a favor. Subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another artist who could use this knowledge. Got questions or topics you want me to cover? Hit me up on Instagram at NoFlashNinja or email me at rob@electrumsupply.com. And remember, tattooing is an art, but running a successful business is a skill. Keep pushing, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time on The Business of Tattooing.